which leads me to what we're talking about tonight. We're going to be finding common ground on houselessness, to find common ground on the issue of policing in this country. And as we discussed these last 3 weeks, we have no other choice than to find common ground on this issue.
The culture hasn't changed. That's the problem. Police misconduct has not gotten worse. It's just gotten televised.
They're not preventing people from getting hurt. They are hurting people. And that's a dangerous way for us to operate as a society.
Some police have been able to get away with this as long as they have because the system is not regulated to produce the right outcome. People are in fear. They feel they need the police. They don't want to alienate the police. And they don't know what the police do. And they don't understand how policing works.
When you say things, sweeping generalization, like people are growing afraid of police if they dial 911, in my opinion, and in my own personal experience, there's not a huge number of people like that. That's the dialogue, and that's that weaponization and the politicization of it going on now.
Put it out there so we can get started on the right foot with defunding the police and what that means. It does seem very, again, radical, but in reality, it's asking for a redistribution of the funds so that we can offer the services to police or outside of the police.
Right, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do here in this country is to create this more perfect union. And the only way you're going to create a more perfect union is to admit that the union as it exists right now is not perfect. So it takes people who are willing to say, these are the problems that we have, and these are the solutions to the problems so that we can become more perfect.
You know, we have people on death row. We have people who've been executed who were innocent, who were wrongly convicted. Too late to undo that mess. So I think that, that's one reason why people who are opposed to the death penalty feel so strongly. The percentage of people on death row in the United California and in the United States contains a vastly disproportionate number of black and brown men, right? So that's not subject to debate. The racially disparate impact of the death penalty is a fact.
When we want to say there were peaceful protesters, it turned into a riot. Last weekend, complete anarchy. We had anarchists from Portland in Los Angeles. When police officers have to protect lives and property, and that's what they're going to do. And they're not going to be violent, and they're not going to push back against peaceful protesters.
You see, especially in the middle, you see a lot of people who have stepped off the fence in relationship to Black Lives Matter and justice for African Americans. And I think that has to do with the principles of nonviolence.
None of us are well until all of us are well. And that's just not about the folks living in a tent somewhere. How about health? Just increase health and we'll be okay. And none of us are whole until all of us are whole, and no lives matter until Black lives matter. And it's sort of how this works.